Shalom, I'm Rabbi Yaakov Spivak, and welcome to Limud HaTorah, Exploring the Torah. This week we are in Parshat Noach, the story of Noah. The story of Noah gets out to us many lessons. It happened so near the creation of the earth, and yet it has great ramifications for the end of days in which we find ourselves, in the Ikvus and the Mashiach, in the footsteps of the Messianic era. You know, the sages tell us that at the end of days, emet nederet, the truth will be suppressed. What does it mean? Does it mean that the media will not tell us the truth? Or does it mean that we see what we want to see? Do we see what we want to see? That's the question. That's really the issue. Here you have a man by the name of Noah, who all of a sudden the streets are teeming with people. The society has gone down to the lowest level of morality, socially, economically. The world is in turmoil. And Noah decides to build an ark, a teva. People passing by in the street, Noah's building an ark. Now you can react in a couple of ways. You can say, now is the time to do tshuva, to repent. Now is the time to say, you know, our number is up unless we change. Let us try to make ourselves better human beings. Let us repent. And if necessary, let us get on that ark with Noah. Strange things are happening with the building of this ark. And I remember in my yeshiva days, our saintly Reb David Kronglas, the saintly dean of men, the spiritual mentor, the mashkiach of the yeshiva, when he would come to the story of Noach, Parshat Noach, he would ask a question, an incredible question. He would say, let's look at this. Let's analyze what's going on here. The world hears the story and thinks, okay, happened. He says the ark was told this, the ark is Shlosh Meos Amo Orach HaTeva. The ark is 300 amos long, and amos about from the tip of the elbow to the knuckle of an average human being. About 18 inches in that area. So if the ark was 300 amos long, if the ark was, that makes it about 450 feet long in our feet. How long is that in terms of a battleship? You ever go down the Upper West Side of Manhattan and you see the Intrepid there, the grand old battleship Intrepid. You look from one end to the other. The Intrepid is close to 900 feet long. And that means that the length of the ark was only maybe half of the size of the Intrepid. It was Shloshim Amakomata, it was 45 feet high. Hamishim Amaroch was 75 feet wide. And about 450 feet long, as I said. Now, says Reb David, stop remembering what you're hearing the story as a youth, but look at it as an intelligent human being who has had experience in life. You have an idea of the masses of creatures on the earth. Huge amount of creatures on the earth. And comes along this man and builds an ark that's on one floor is 450 feet long. 450 feet long. How many animals, birds, everything are you going to get on a 450-foot long ark with only one level, one floor of the ark for the animals? You wouldn't get a minuscule percentage of the different kinds of animals. And especially 2 pairs of every unclean animal and 7 pairs of every clean animal, male and female. There's no way you could get it on that. It would swamp the ark, the ark would sink from the weight of whatever would happen, in physics. I don't know, but it certainly wouldn't hold it. Couldn't hold it. So if that's the case, says Reb David, we had to come on to a miracle. And if you have to come on to a miracle, says Reb David, what does this Noah spend 120 years building an ark? You need a miracle anyway, and for the same money you'll get a miracle that you don't have to build for 120. Let God make the miracle so Noah could put them all in a suitcase. Okay. The ark doesn't fit all the animals, so you need one miracle. A little bigger miracle, you put them in a suitcase, says Reb David. So why in the world would Noah spend 120 years? Some answer, give the time people for repenting. But the fact is, the earth was already finished. The people were already corrupt. You would know after a year, 2 years, 3 years, the society was so down in the dumps. So what does Noah have to spend 120 years for? And Reb David gives us an answer like this. He says the following. Later on in the Torah, the Jews have come out of Egypt. They're on the boundary of Kodesh Barnea, the boundary of the land of Canaan. They are ready to go in. They have experienced incredible miracles. They have seen things. What the lowly maidservant saw on the sea, Ezekiel the prophet did not see. If that's the case, let's just walk in. But no. The leaders of the people said, before we go in, we think it's a good idea that maybe we should send some spies to spy out the land. I don't want to use the word chutzpah. God has done all this for you. Some explanations go that they had an ulterior motive in the fact that they were afraid they were going to lose their positions as leaders once they went into the land. That the Zohar says that. The book of Jewish mysticism says that they were afraid that now they would lose their positions, so they were looking to pick. And God says, you don't trust me? You don't have faith in me? I swear, says God, I'll give them the opportunity to make a mistake. I'll give them the opportunity. These were great men. These were not simple human beings, but this was a spot in their character that caused this terrible problem. So when they go into the land, God makes the people sick, so that the spies should not be a distraction. And the spies look around and said, look at this. This is Eretz Ochelt Yoshvei. This is a land that consumes its inhabitants. Everybody's sick. You want to go here? Look at the size, says the Zohar, of the grapes. In Egypt, we had grapes 3 times the size. Every excuse they could find not to go in the land. Every excuse they could find not to go in the land. That's what was going on. And so, there was a rebellion, and people said, Nitna Rosh v'Nashuva Mitzrayma. Let's appoint a leader and go back to Egypt. Let's appoint a leader and go back to Egypt. So it was the same in the time of Noah, my friends. The same thing was happening. God lets a man build an ark for 120 years. And he makes the miracle in the end that, you see, all the animals of the earth go on one floor. Tremendous miracle. Tremendous miracle. You can't imagine what a miracle it was. And yet, later generations are going to come around and they're going to say, miracle? There was no miracle there. No, it was akroi ba'alma, as we say in Aramaic. It was an accident. It was a coincidence. Noah just happened to own a ship, and he saved his hide and his family. You're not going to think about the fact that the world doesn't think about the fact that there's this incredible miracle that you fit every animal into one. No. So God doesn't want him to take it in a suitcase, because then it would show a miracle. You have to show you have belief. You have to show that step of faith. You have to be like Nachshon ben Aminadab, who walked into the Red Sea up into his neck before it split. You want a mistake? You want to be like the 80% of the Jews that did not leave Egypt? Well, I'll give you, let you make a mistake. I'll let you make a mistake. No problem. No problem. That generation had deteriorated, the generation of Noah. Some of the social unrest that we see in our days now, and the social mores that we see in our days, were existent at that time. And God decided that the earth, that he was going to bring this mabul, as we say in Hebrew, this flood, to take out these people. So then, Noah survives. There should be a great lesson in the world. There's no lesson in the world. People say, oh, wow. Isn't that something? Noah was saved. You know why Noah was saved? Because he happened to be an owner of a ship. He was a sailor, so he happened to survive. I swear, they don't want to believe. I'll give them a reason not to believe. They don't have faith in me, says God. I'll give them a reason not to have faith. They'll explain it. You must see this didn't happen because of a miracle, because this was happening at that time, and the flood was happening at that time, and he happened to be building a ship. And let's be scientific about it in the sense that, it really wasn't a miracle. The survival of the Jewish people. Oh, why they survived Rome, and why they survived Babylon, and why they survived the Soviet Union. Why? Oh, well, they were small, and nobody noticed them, and they were underfoot. And let me explain sociologically. You must understand that there was a psychology and a social psychoanalysis of what was happening over here. It just happened to be. Less din v'less dayan chas v'shalom. There's no charge, there's no justice, they will say. That which is preached in so many of the contaminated halls of academia. Not all are contaminated, but some. And people come out propagandized. No miracle, no nothing. Look at a miracle. You see what you want to see. That's the message of Noah. God has created the earth, and do you notice it? Do you see his miracles? No, you see what you want to see. Let me tell you the story of a man named Sam Gitlow from Spring Valley, New York. Mr. Gitlow called me in to talk to me in the 1970s when I was a young man. He had made his fortune inventing the coin-operated laundromat. And he called me in, and I said, why do you want me, Mr. Gitlow? I'm a young rabbi. You want to talk about something? But rabbi, you talk with a rabbi in his 60s, 70s. What do you need to talk? He said, I'm talking to you, Rabbi Spivak, because you're involved with the media. You're involved with radio and television, to teaching of Torah and the Jewish press. You're a writer. So I want you to get a message out that I have been holding in all these years. I said, what's that, Mr. Gitlow? He says, in 1935, I was a messenger of the Joint Distribution Committee. The Joint Distribution Committee was there trying to save Jews. 1933, Hitler came to power. 1935, the year I was sent to German Jews to try to help them, the Nuremberg laws was just starting to take effect. Jews were thrown out of universities. Jews could not go in certain places and do certain things. It was happening. And so the Joint sent me to Berlin to talk to the Jüdische Gemeinde, the heads of the Jewish community in Germany. I got there, Long table. Picture a conference room and a long table. And these wealthy German Jews, successful men, are sitting at the table to hear what this entrepreneur, Mr. Gitlow from Spring Valley, New York, had to tell them. He says, I stood up and I said to them, I opened my briefcase and I put steamship tickets on the table and I said to them, gentlemen, here are steamship tickets. Here is money. Run for your lives. There's going to come horror and destruction to Germany. And they laughed at me, he said. They said, oh, Mr. Gitlow, take your money and take your steamship tickets and your briefcase and go back to Spring Valley, New York. You don't have to worry about us German Jews. Everything's going to be fine. Why? Why is everything going to be fine? Because we fought in World War I for Germany. We have medals all across. Hitler doesn't want us. The Fuhrer wants the Ostjuden, the Jews of the East, the Polish Jews who happen to be in there in Germany at the time, or some even in Poland. But so what? Not us. Not us. We're safe. He went back to Germany. He went back from Germany to America. And he watched those same people were shipped to Dachau and Treblinka and Auschwitz. Why? Because they saw what they wanted to see. It's going to be fine. They saw what they wanted to see. We live in America. We have a confidence in this wonderful country that has been so kind to us. And when there are rumblings that we should take notice of, and we should try to help the country as much as we can, be good citizens, and make sagacious decisions as to who our representatives will be in a democratic society, what happens? Some of us do, some of us don't. We see in America, a strong country, what could happen? We don't prepare an exit route to Israel in case something happens, because after all, it's America. After all. Nothing could happen. The Jews have a wonderful history here. The Jews have contributed to the country, as did the German Jews. The Jews have contributed since service in the armed forces, as did the German Jews. And we have a loyalty which we should have to this country. My father used to tell me, when I asked him for a passage from the Bible, he would quote this, Ashrei Odom Mefachid Tamid, U'makshe libo yipol baro. He, happy and successful, is a man who is always a little wary. Not paranoid, but wary. Because he who hardens his heart will fall into evil. Noah, he was saved because of, he happened to own a ship. The spies, it happened to be a terrible land. Germany speaks for itself. What Parshat Noach tries to tell us, always, don't see what you want to see. See what is there. Ladies and gentlemen, Rabbi Yaakov Spivak, this is my book. These lectures are taken from, at least in Genesis, Bereshis, Shalvat Yaakov, which is being translated into English from the Hebrew. If you're interested in obtaining a copy, you just contact me at the email address yspivak@aol.com. Tell you how you can get it. And we hope you like this. We're on the Yaakov Spivak channel. You can pick us up. There are always added new programs, and this Torah portion of the week will, God willing, always be there, adding more. So tune us in as often as you can. Till we meet again. I want to wish you seid gesund, be healthy. Lehitraot, we'll see you again. Shalom al Yisrael, may there be peace on Israel and the world. And most of all, my friend, Chazak, be strong.